Most men do not realize that nearly 1 in 2 men over the age of 40 report some degree of sexual difficulty, whether that is lower desire, weaker erections, or disrupted sleep that leaves them feeling drained the next day. By the time we reach 60, these challenges become even more common, not because the body has failed, but because our daily habits, nutrition, and hormonal balance are more delicate than before. And here is where the confusion begins. Online, you will hear countless quick fixes, exotic powders, complicated supplements, or extreme routines that promise miracles. But the truth is far simpler, and it lies in something you might already have in your kitchen cabinet: a single nut. Yes, one nut at night has been shown in research to impact potency, vigor, and even the quality of deep sleep in men over 60. Now, before you dismiss this as another internet fad, let me reassure you, we are not talking about folklore or untested remedies. We are talking about something supported by reputable studies from institutions like the National Institutes of Health and Harvard Medical School. This nut contains compounds that act on blood vessels, hormones, and even the nervous system in ways that are directly tied to erection strength, testosterone levels, and restorative sleep. Think of it like this. Your body is a finely tuned machine, and over time, the wiring, your blood vessels, your hormones, your sleep cycles can become frayed. What this one nut does is supply the body with raw materials that repair those wires, allowing energy, circulation, and hormonal signals to flow more smoothly. That is why men who consume it regularly report not only improved vitality, but also calmer nights and more energetic mornings. This is not about a magic bullet. It is about understanding how simple, evidence-based nutrition can align with the biology of aging men. In this video, I am going to take you step by step through what makes this nut special, how it works in the body, the research behind it, and the exact way to integrate it into your nightly routine. Along the way, we will also separate myth from fact, because misinformation in men's health is everywhere, and you deserve clarity, not confusion. So if you have ever wondered whether there is a simple, natural way to support your potency, preserve your vigor, and finally get the kind of deep restorative sleep that allows your body to heal, stay with me. By the end of this consultation, you will not only know the science behind this nightly habit, but also feel empowered to take charge of your health in a way that is safe, practical, and deeply effective. The nut we are focusing on today is the walnut. At first glance, it may seem too ordinary to carry such profound benefits, but when you look closely at its composition, the walnut is a biochemical powerhouse. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and unique plant compounds, it has been studied extensively for cardiovascular health, brain function, hormone balance, and even sleep regulation. Let us break this down like I would with a patient. Imagine your body as a complex orchestra. For vitality and sexual health, you need harmony between blood flow, hormone signals, and brain chemistry. As men age, these instruments begin to lose sync. Testosterone levels may dip, blood vessels may stiffen, and the natural cycles of sleep may become disrupted. The walnut contains several nutrients that help retune this orchestra, bringing it back toward balance. One of the most powerful elements in walnuts is alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3. Research from Harvard and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that diets rich in omega-3s improve endothelial function, meaning the inner lining of blood vessels relaxes more effectively. This is the very process that determines how well blood can flow into the penis during arousal. In practical terms, better endothelial health translates to stronger, more reliable erections. But circulation is only one piece of the story. Walnuts are also high in arginine, an amino acid that your body uses to create nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the chemical messenger that allows blood vessels to dilate. If you have ever heard of medications for erectile dysfunction like sildenafil, they work by enhancing nitric oxide signaling. By providing your body with more of the raw material for nitric oxide, walnuts support this process naturally. There is also evidence connecting walnuts to hormonal balance. A study published in Biology of Reproduction noted that men who consumed walnuts daily experienced improvements in sperm vitality, motility, and morphology. While that may sound like it only applies to fertility, the deeper takeaway is that walnuts create an environment where testosterone and reproductive hormones can function more efficiently. Balanced hormones, in turn, affect not only potency, but also energy and mood. Think of it this way: if your blood vessels are the roads and your hormones are the traffic signals, walnuts help repair the asphalt while recalibrating the signals. The result is smoother flow, both of blood and of communication between your brain and body. So when I recommend one walnut-rich serving at night, it is not about superstition or ritual. It is about supplying your body with the nutrients it needs at a time when repair and restoration are naturally happening. Evening consumption aligns with your circadian rhythm, setting the stage for better circulation, better hormonal balance, and eventually deeper sleep. If this is helping clarify things, give it a thumbs up and keep learning. In the next part, we are going to explore exactly how walnuts enhance blood vessel health and why this matters so much for men after 60. Let us now look more closely at blood vessel health, because this is truly the foundation of male potency. Erections are not only about testosterone or desire, they are about hydraulics. If the vessels cannot open properly, blood cannot flow in, and without that, potency becomes inconsistent or fades altogether. Here is what the research shows. The endothelium, which is the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, is responsible for producing nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the chemical signal that tells smooth muscle cells in the vessel walls to relax, allowing blood to surge in. In the penis, that means filling the erectile tissue, which creates firmness. With age, however, endothelial cells often become damaged by oxidative stress, poor diet, high blood pressure, or diabetes. This is one reason erectile dysfunction can sometimes be the earliest sign of vascular disease. Walnuts directly target this system. They are rich in L-arginine, the amino acid precursor for nitric oxide. Think of L-arginine as the raw material and your endothelium as the factory. By eating walnuts, you are supplying the factory with more building blocks, which results in stronger nitric oxide production and better vessel relaxation. But it does not stop there. Walnuts also contain polyphenols, plant compounds with strong antioxidant properties. A study published in Circulation, the Journal of the American Heart Association, found that walnut consumption improved endothelial function within weeks. This is not a long-term theory, it is something measurable in clinical trials. Better endothelial function means vessels that respond more like they did in youth, opening wide when the body signals for blood flow. Imagine your blood vessels as garden hoses. Over time, calcium buildup, oxidative stress, and poor diet make those hoses stiff and less responsive. Walnuts, with their omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, act like a gentle lubricant, softening the lining and restoring flexibility. That translates not only into better potency, but also into improved cardiovascular health overall. This is important because we cannot separate sexual health from heart health. The arteries that supply the penis are much smaller than those supplying the heart. If those small arteries become blocked or stiff, problems show up in sexual function first. In fact, many cardiologists consider erectile dysfunction an early warning sign for cardiovascular disease. Supporting your vessel health with something as simple as walnuts is not just about intimacy, it is about longevity. From a practical perspective, 1 to 2 ounces of walnuts in the evening has been shown in studies to deliver these benefits without causing excessive calories. That is roughly a small handful or 7 to 9 whole walnuts. Eating them at night also aligns with the body's natural repair processes, since nitric oxide and melatonin pathways interact closely in the circadian rhythm. So when we talk about one nut at night, we are really talking about supplying your body with the vascular support it needs to maintain potency, vitality, and energy. If this is making sense to you, comment below and let me know. I want to hear how this connects to your own experience, because opening this conversation helps men everywhere realize they are not alone. Now we will explore how walnuts influence testosterone and why this matters not just for sexual health, but for your overall energy, confidence, and sleep quality. When men think about testosterone, they often imagine it only as the hormone of youth, driving libido, muscle mass, and confidence. But testosterone is far more than that. It plays a critical role in regulating mood, bone strength, red blood cell production, and even how well you sleep. After the age of 60, testosterone naturally declines, but lifestyle choices, including nutrition, heavily influence how sharp or steep that decline becomes. Here is where walnuts enter the picture again. Several studies have shown that men who include walnuts in their diet maintain healthier reproductive hormone levels compared to those who do not. One trial, published in Biology of Reproduction, found that young men who consumed about 2 servings of walnuts daily experienced not only improvements in sperm vitality, but also better hormonal signaling. Now, you may say, I am not worried about fertility at my age. That is fair, but the deeper takeaway is that walnuts appear to help maintain the environment in which testosterone can function effectively, and that applies at any age. Think of testosterone like a radio signal. Over time, static interferes with the signal, making it harder for your body to hear the message. That static is inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic imbalance. Walnuts, with their omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants like vitamin E, and plant sterols, act like filters that reduce the static. The result, your cells receive clearer hormonal signals, which translates into steadier energy, more consistent libido, and improved overall vitality. There's also a fascinating link between testosterone and sleep. Low testosterone levels are strongly associated with disrupted sleep patterns, while restorative sleep helps sustain testosterone production. This creates a cycle. Poor sleep reduces testosterone, and low testosterone makes sleep more shallow and fragmented. By supporting hormonal balance and also containing natural melatonin precursors, walnuts can intervene in this cycle, giving your body a stronger foundation for both vigor and rest. I often tell patients, do not think of testosterone as just a number on a blood test. Think of it as a rhythm, constantly responding to your habits, your diet, your stress levels, and even your sleep. Walnuts support that rhythm because they contain the nutrients your body needs to keep the signal strong. From a practical standpoint, including walnuts in the evening meal may provide a double advantage. You are delivering omega-3s and antioxidants at the same time your body is preparing to produce melatonin and settle into restorative sleep. Over time, that alignment helps reinforce both hormonal balance and circadian rhythm. So when you think of this nightly walnut, remember it is not only about erections or physical performance. It is about supporting a hormone system that influences nearly every part of your health, from the way you think and feel to how rested you are in the morning. Now, we will dive into sleep itself and why walnuts uniquely support deeper, more restorative sleep after 60. This part is especially powerful because sleep is the silent foundation of both vitality and longevity. Sleep is often underestimated in men's health, yet it is the very foundation on which vitality rests. Without deep restorative sleep, the body cannot repair tissues, reset hormone rhythms, or restore the brain's chemical balance. And for men over 60, sleep disturbances are incredibly common, whether it is waking up multiple times at night, difficulty falling back asleep, or feeling unrefreshed in the morning. These issues affect not just energy levels, but also sexual health and overall longevity. Here is what the research shows. Walnuts are one of the few foods that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that signals to your body when it is time to sleep. They also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that serves as a precursor to serotonin, the neurotransmitter that eventually converts into melatonin. This dual action means that walnuts both supply your body with melatonin directly and also give it the raw materials to produce more. In a study published in Nutrition, researchers found that eating walnuts increased blood levels of melatonin and improved sleep quality in participants. That is not an anecdote. That is a measurable biological effect. And this matters deeply because melatonin is not just about falling asleep. It orchestrates the depth of sleep cycles, allowing your body to spend more time in slow-wave sleep, the stage most responsible for physical restoration, immune repair, and hormonal regulation. Think of your nightly rest as a house being cleaned. Light, fragmented sleep is like quickly sweeping the surface but leaving dust in the corners. Deep sleep, fueled by adequate melatonin, is like a thorough cleaning crew scrubbing every room. Walnuts give your body more of the tools to send in that crew consistently, night after night. There's also a profound connection between sleep and testosterone. Studies have shown that even 1 week of poor sleep can drop testosterone levels significantly, sometimes by as much as 10 to 15%. When you consider that most men already experience age-related decline, poor sleep only accelerates the problem. By supporting deeper sleep, walnuts indirectly support testosterone, creating a reinforcing loop between vigor and rest. Patients often ask me why eat it at night instead of in the morning. My answer is simple: alignment. Eating walnuts in the evening means your body receives melatonin and tryptophan at the very moment your circadian rhythm is preparing for rest. You are essentially giving your body a natural nudge toward a smoother transition into deep sleep. The takeaway here is clear. One small handful of walnuts at night is not a gimmick. It is a physiologically sound way to enhance melatonin, strengthen your sleep cycles, and by doing so, improve your energy, performance, and overall vitality. Now we will take a step back to clear up some myths and misconceptions, because while walnuts are powerful, they are not a miracle pill, and understanding their real role will save you from falling into the traps of misinformation. At this point, you may be wondering, if walnuts are so beneficial, why is not everyone over 60 eating them every night? The truth is, there are a lot of myths and misunderstandings around nutrition and men's health. Let us take a moment to separate fact from fiction. The first myth is that one food alone can completely reverse age-related changes. This is not true. Walnuts are powerful, but they work best as part of a larger pattern: a balanced diet, regular activity, and good sleep hygiene. Think of walnuts as one important tool in a toolbox, not the entire repair kit. If you only use a screwdriver but ignore the hammer, the job remains unfinished. The second myth is that eating more is always better. Some men hear about benefits and then eat an entire bowl. But walnuts are dense in calories. Overeating them can lead to weight gain, which in turn worsens testosterone balance and sleep. The evidence-based serving is about 1 to 2 ounces or a small handful. Moderation is key. The third myth is that supplements are automatically equal to whole foods. While walnut oil or extracts may sound convenient, whole walnuts provide a unique synergy of nutrients, fiber, protein, antioxidants, and healthy fats that cannot be replicated in a capsule. Research shows the whole nut has broader health effects than any isolated extract. Another common misunderstanding is that erectile dysfunction, fatigue, or poor sleep after 60 are normal and untreatable. That is false. These issues are common, but they are not something you have to simply accept. The right nutrition, lifestyle, and medical guidance can make an enormous difference. Walnuts are one small but powerful way to tip the scales in your favor. And finally, some men assume that if they are already taking medication for blood pressure, cholesterol, or even erectile dysfunction, dietary changes are unnecessary. But diet and lifestyle remain the foundation. Medications can help manage symptoms, but they do not replace the biological need for proper nutrition and vessel health. Think of medication as scaffolding around a building. Useful, but the building still needs strong bricks. Walnuts help provide those bricks. The bottom line is this: walnuts are not a magic bullet, but they are also not a gimmick. They are a scientifically validated food with measurable effects on blood vessels, hormones, and sleep. When used consistently, in the right amount, and alongside other healthy habits, they become a quiet but powerful ally in maintaining vigor and vitality. In our final section before the conclusion, I will give you clear, practical steps, exactly how to incorporate walnuts into your nightly routine, how much to eat, and how to combine them with other habits for maximum impact. Now let us turn everything we have discussed into practical steps that you can apply tonight. Because knowledge without action does not change health, but a simple, consistent routine can. First, let us talk about the serving size. The research consistently shows benefits with about 1 to 2 ounces of walnuts per day. That translates to roughly 7 to 9 whole walnuts, or a small handful. More than that does not mean better results. In fact, too much can add unnecessary calories and lead to weight gain, which would work against your goals. Second, timing matters. Eating walnuts in the evening has unique advantages. As we discussed earlier, walnuts naturally contain melatonin and tryptophan, both of which align with your body's circadian rhythm. Having them about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime allows your digestive system to absorb these compounds in time for them to influence your sleep cycle. This is why I often recommend enjoying them as a small after-dinner snack. Third, pair them wisely. Walnuts combine beautifully with other foods that stabilize blood sugar and improve sleep quality. For example, you might try a few walnuts with a small serving of plain yogurt, which adds protein and probiotics, or mix them with a few berries, which provide antioxidants without spiking blood sugar. The goal is to create a balanced evening snack that supports both hormone balance and sleep. Fourth, think consistency, not perfection. Eating walnuts once in a while will not create noticeable changes, but making them part of your nightly routine builds cumulative benefits, healthier vessels, more stable hormones, and deeper sleep. I often tell patients think in terms of months and years, not days. It is the steady habit that creates resilience. Fifth, combine walnuts with other simple lifestyle habits. For instance, taking a brief evening walk after dinner can further improve circulation and help regulate blood sugar. Keeping your bedroom cool and dark enhances melatonin's effect. Avoiding heavy alcohol or late caffeine intake supports your sleep cycle. Walnuts are one part of the puzzle, but when you combine them with these other pieces, the picture of health becomes much clearer. Finally, pay attention to how your body responds. Everyone is unique. Some men notice better sleep within a week or two, while for others, the changes are more subtle and gradual. Keep track of your energy in the morning, your sleep quality, and even your sexual performance. Small shifts in these areas often add up to larger improvements in confidence and overall vitality. So the practical prescription is simple. 1 handful of walnuts at night, consistently combined with mindful evening habits. That is a safe, evidence-based, and empowering step toward better potency, vigor, and restorative sleep. In our conclusion, we will bring all of these insights together, reminding you why this matters, what the science truly says, and how you can carry this into the next stage of your health journey with clarity and confidence. As we close this consultation, let us take a moment to step back and